In a previous video, I went through 10 different players that I use regularly when going through the bulk bidding method. Those players that we looked at were cheap players. They were less than 1000 coins. You would buy them for anywhere between 700 to 800 and list them anywhere between 900 to 1000 coins in total, only giving you about 100, maybe 200 coins after EA tax. But because you're able to get so many, being 40 out of the 50 that you bid on, you're able to make thousands of coins, and they expire very quickly and sell on even quicker. Today though, we're looking at another 12 players that I bulk bid on regularly, except today we're not looking at players less than 1000 coins. We're looking for players that are slightly more expensive, and by them being slightly more expensive, hopefully we'll be able to make more profit per card, so that we don't need to have 40 to 50 players expired in the watch list for us to make thousands. Instead, we just need to have a couple. But before I do get into the video, if you're looking to skip trading and get straight to earning coins, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Use the link in the description down below to head over to Mule Factory and get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA 22 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic5 at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. So link can be found in the description down below. And getting back into the video. Bulk bidding, if you didn't know, is a very easy trading method. It's there for those that want to be lazy in the game or just don't want to spend hours trading every single day but still want to make a decent amount of coins. You would simply look for one specific player, find their lowest buy now, take just a couple hundred coins away and set that as your max bid amount. Now you just go through the transfer market and bid on every single card of that player at that bid amount and wait for them to expire. If you've selected a good player, it shouldn't take too long. At the end, you should have a good amount, anywhere between 25 all the way up to 50 players expired in your watch list that you've managed to win. Now you won't be making a crazy amount of profit per card, but the fact that you've got so many cards in your transfer market, you can list them all giving you a couple hundred coins per card, and this will eventually equal to making thousands. And you can do this every hour, and it only takes about 5 minutes for you to bid on 50 players. But with this method, the biggest struggle is actually finding a good player. So in a previous video, I showed good players that I use regularly that are less than 1000 coins. Today, we're looking at players anywhere between 1000 to 5000 coins. Now, I should highlight that I've been using this method for quite some time, and some of the players that are included in this video have been over the last month, and they're on Xbox. So no matter what platform you're using or when you're actually watching this video, just double check the player prices. But the first player that I always use is Alaba. Alaba being a centre-back playing for Real Madrid, a very good player, but also a good player to trade with. Normally, on average, he costs around 2500 coins, with there also being fluctuation depending whether or not there's any SBCs. But normally you're able to get him for around 2000 coins on Xbox, and you can sell him for 2500. The footage that you're seeing is me actually trading with him when he was used for SBCs because of his rating. So he did go up by 1000 coins to around 3500, in which I was still able to get him below market value at anywhere between 2500 to 3000 coins, and I was able to sell him at 3500. Sticking to La Liga and also looking in the exact same position, we move on to Jimenez. Jimenez being a centre-back playing for Atletico Madrid. Jimenez goes for a very similar price at around 2500 coins on average, and you can get him for the exact same price as Alaba, being around 2000 coins. He also is a great player to trade with even when he's needed for SBCs, as he does go up to around 3500 to 4000 coins, and you're still able to get him for around 2500 all the way up to 3000 coins on a bid to sell on. And the footage you're seeing on screen is exactly that. This was actually a few weeks ago when he was going at that higher price, and still we was able to get him. The next player on the list is Mainan. Mainan being another 84 rated player, but he has a slightly higher average price at being around 3500, but you can get him for around 2800 on a bid. This is what we normally look at. Because he is an 84 rated player, yes, yet again people go to him for his rating to complete SBCs. When that does happen, normally he goes up to around 4500 coins. But unfortunately with Mainan, compared to Alaba and Jimenez, once he's actually used for these SBCs, he becomes a lot harder to get. It's probably not actually worth it once you take in consideration their 5% EA tax. He'll be selling for around 4,500 coins, and you could probably get a couple at 3,900. Which is still profit, but because of how many more coins you need to put up to get him, and once that 5% EA tax takes more away from you, you're better to be going for the likes of Alaba or Jimenez, or maybe even some of the other players on this list. The next player is Yannick Carrasco, the left mid playing for Atletico Madrid. On average, he will be selling for around 2,800 coins, and you can get him for about 2,000 to 2,200. He's also very similar to the likes of Alaba and Jimenez, because once he does go up, he goes for around 3,500 coins, in which you can probably get him for around 2,800 to 3,000 coins, and you should still be able to be getting a lot of him. Moving on, the next player that we use, and by far my most favorite player to use at this price range, is Ben Yedder. Ben Yedder is a desirable player that loads of other people want to be using in the game, but he's also very good to be using within the bulk bidding method. On average, his price is anywhere between 3,900 to 4,100 coins if you was to be selling him. But you can very easily get him anywhere between 3,000 coins all the way up to 3,400, and there's a lot of him. Normally when I go through Ben Yedder, I'm able to fill my watch list of 50 players of just him at this price, and I'm able to get anywhere between 35 to 40 of him, with a lot of them being at that price of 3,000 coins, where I'm able to sell them at 4,000 coins, giving me 800 coins profit after EA tax on each card. This is always a player that I spend time looking at on a daily basis to make a decision whether or not I'm going to use my time and use my coins to go through him. But every time I do check, it always seems to be a great deal, and I always get plenty of him. The next player that I look at is Jason Denayer. On average, you can get him anywhere between 2,000 to 2,200 coins, and he sells anywhere between 2,700 to 2,900 coins. It doesn't give as much profit as what we was able to do with Ben Yedder, but it is still a very good amount of coins, and you will be getting a lot of him, being anywhere between 30 to 40 cards. Moving on, the next player that we have is Fernando. Fernando is slightly different to the rest of the players on this list because you won't be getting a crazy amount, but you're still able to get a fair few, and at the end of the day, any profit is good profit, so this is why he's included on the list, and I still use him quite regularly. So normally what happens with Fernando, for me to actually buy him, I will go through the list of some of the other players that we talked about within this video, and if they don't look like good deals or there's too much competition, I will go to Fernando. Fernando will only be giving us about 300 to 400 coins profit on each card, and you won't be getting a crazy amount of him, but he is always reliable in that you will be able to get him. And normally is only a player that I go to when the other players aren't working. So Fernando, for me, I buy him at around 2,700 coins on a bid, and then sell him for around 3,300 coins to 3,400 coins. As said, not a crazy amount, and when I do bid on him, I'm probably only getting around 10. But as said, at the end of the day, any profit is good profit, and this is a player that always seems to work even when other players aren't working. You just don't get a crazy amount of profit per card, and you don't get a lot of him. The next player that I look at is Jesus Navas. He's very similar to Jason Denayer, where I'm able to get him anywhere between 2,000 to 2,200 coins, but then sell him at 2,700 to 2,900 coins. Now the reason I compare him to Denayer is that there's also been a lot of times where I'll bid on 25 Denayers and then 25 Navases. They normally expire in around 10 minutes, and I'm able to get around 30 to 40 of that type of player, which means as soon as that's done, I can then spend the next couple minutes doing the exact same thing again, where hopefully I'll have a similar return. I then list them all at the exact same price, so there's no memory game that I need to go through. I don't need to remember that Ben Yedder goes for 3,900 coins and Navas goes for 2,700 coins. They go for the exact same price between Denayer and Navas, making it incredibly easy. And I could just keep this rotation going, and normally I do. There's a few days per week where they work out very well in a time that I'm trading, and I just keep on going through this rotation. The ninth player that I go through is Wijnaldum. Normally I buy him for around 2,500 to 2,800 coins and sell between 3,300 coins to 3,500 coins. normally giving around 600 coins profit after EA tax, with there also occasionally being that one player that gives slightly more, where I'm able to get them at 2,500 and sell them at 3,500. Unfortunately, you don't get a crazy amount of them, but there is a few times where they do come through. And then finally, the last player that I look at, also another player very similar to Navas and Daenerys. This one is Felipe. Felipe, yet again, being able to buy him at anywhere between 2,000 to 2,200 and sell him at 2,700 to 2,900. Yet again, another player that could fit into that rotation that I said earlier. We just bid at them all at the exact same price and then sell them all at the exact same price, and you should be able to get a fair few of him. Now, as said, these are the players that I look at regularly, but their prices will be changing. On a daily basis, their buy now fluctuates, so when you check their price, whatever it is, just take anywhere between 500 to 1,000 coins away and then start bidding. Eventually, after you do this a while, you understand what is the best price to bid on each player. That way you're able to maximize the amount of coins every single time that you bid on that player. It's also worth noting that these players are also great fodder investments. So if you are able to get some of these players for around 2,000 coins, which you can, it's also worth just storing one to your club. You'll be able to get loads of these cards into your account where you're able to trade with, so storing just one to your club isn't going to dig into your profit. But that player you can then use later once they do increase in price to sell on, or you can also use them for SBCs. Anyway guys, these are another 10 players that I use when bulk bidding in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team, with these ones given slightly more profit. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.